Ooh, I like the sound of that. That means we're back.
Not you trying to start the show off. But yes, we are back. I'm in Control Podcast. I am the Charity E.
I am the one and only June Speaks.
I'm Misha.
I'm Janae.
And it's a new year. New year, same us.
Same us.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, honestly, I just forgot what year it is. We're in 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I've lost all concept of time. If you want to talk about time, Janae will give y'all the entire rundown.
Oh, don't start.
What is time, Janae?
It's not a real concept. It's man-made.
Yeah. It's, what do they say? It's linear?
We think of it as linear, but it's not.
Yeah.
Time just is, and we have put, parameters around it.
Yeah. It's actually pretty crazy.
It is.
Y'all don't want to get that deep. Not right now. Okay, well, let's just go in a little lighter.
What is it called? It's called, what did you tell me I have, Janae? COVID? What? Loss of memory?
Mom, I don't know what you're talking about because it doesn't match the conversation.
No, Charity was saying something about time. I was like, I just lost my train of thought.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I don't think that has to do with... okay. All right. Let's go a little easier then. So, New Year, same us, but it could be New Year, new boo. So, let's start with a little... we're going to do a little this or that.
Okay.
So, it's going to be between online dating
Okay.
or meeting organically.
Okay.
So let me just give y'all the top, I think it's top 8 online dating sites right now. So number 1, Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, Match.com, Grindr, eHarmony, Facebook, and Coffee Meets Bagel. So
I've never heard of that
the
one.
fact that eHarmony is actually on here, I'm surprised. That's been around since I've been like 5.
The fact that Facebook is on there, I'm surprised.
Well, Facebook has
That's
like
new.
Janae.
Oh.
How you know?
It gave me an ad the other day. It gave me an ad. It was like, Janae, you might meet some new singles in your area. I was
Facebook
like,
dating.
Did you happen to say you weren't married or something?
anyway.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. So the this or that online dating versus meeting organically. Let's start with Misha. Which one are you going to pick?
What was the question again?
New you, same Misha. New year.
I don't know. I heard it, but
We're starting it over. We're starting it over. This or that
I was looking at my phone.
online dating or
Or-
meeting organically.
And I know what organically means. Oh my God. I would say I'm old school. I like organically.
Okay, but how do you expect people to meet organically?
Well, you have to actually be outside. And outside doesn't mean like nightlife, club, bar. It could be whatever your outside is. It could be Starbucks. It could be a restaurant. It could be church. Just outside of your home, outside of your 4 walls.
It
Like,
could
just
be
somewhere.
in the supermarket.
Yeah, it could be Target.
But
Walmart.
what are the odds of that actually happening?
I
What
know
are the
people.
odds?
I know people who met in the supermarket.
How many
Hold
years
on.
ago was
Hold
that? How many
I never knew you called it
years?
a supermarket, but
Yo, this supermarket's
I've never
rich. What is that?
that's something new. But
But Kamisha, have you met somebody in? I was about to say the supermarket. Have you met somebody in Kroger, Central Market?
I normally look a hot mess when I'm at those stores. I mean, when I say a hot mess, I'm not like cute like I am right now. So normally I think, well, these days, these unprecedented times,
I hate
I normally
that.
have a hoodie on, my everyday wig, and a mask, and maybe sometimes some shade, so they can't even tell if I'm a boy or a girl.
So if you look like that and you want to meet somebody organically,
Well, I'm saying I normally haven't met anybody. Pre-COVID, have I? If I have, I'm normally looking in their basket, and I'm like, oh, he got diapers. So, I don't know. So normally, I haven't. I normally meet them at the club. That's what I think.
well, that's organically. Okay,
Yeah,
Janae,
so not the
which
store.
one are you going with?
I would prefer organically.
Okay.
And I saw online that 40% of people though meet people online. Like I just can't get with that because these people are crazy. I actually watched Tinder Swindler today.
Oh, that was kind of good.
And that's another reason. But here's the thing about meeting organically. If you ask men, and I've talked to several single women who, about the same situation. If you ask like your male homies about, hey, do you have anybody? Your male family members. And you know what they all say?
What?
Not that I would recommend to you, which tells me that they all dogs.
That's not necessarily true.
So is
Sometimes,
your friend or cousin or uncle or whatever, is he the exception
to what?
to being the dog? Because you want to meet organically in order to not have to deal with it. You want somebody to have some like accountability.
Correct.
And you want to be able to like vet what it is that they're telling you. Because people can make fake Instagram profiles like the Tinder swindler did. And you really can't check their references. But then when you reach out to your homies, they like,
So real quick, because the people might not know what that is. Mom might not know what the Tinder swindler is. Just give like a brief synopsis.
It's a new show, documentary or whatever you want to call it, on Netflix. It shows how this man swindled all these women out of thousands of dollars. And he was so cold with it. He had all like his social media profile. It looked like what he was saying he was. Like he looked legit.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Big scammer.
Hold up. What woman in 2022
But we don't know if it was.
is giving dollars to a brother?
We can't get to that at this point because this or that it'll become the whole show.
I just want to know. I'm not upset with the Tinder swindle. I'm upset with the women in 2022 that's giving money to someone they're not in a committed relationship.
No. They were in a relationship.
They were in a relationship.
Married?
No.
Answered, but question answered.
Anyway, but I would say I would like to meet organically. However, people no longer approach you in the said supermarket or in the store. I feel like it's hard for men nowadays to approach women. I mean, they've been shot down so much.
They don't
you
like
know,
rejection.
yeah. So, but I still prefer organically.
Well, and to counter that though, women also don't like to be approached sometimes because they're scared to say no to men because men could be sociopaths.
Yeah, especially at the gas station, and they're like, "Hey, say, shawty," you know, because I live kind of close to a gas station, and I'm just like, if you're not gonna pump my gas or pay for said gas, please quit talking to me.
Well, one of my friends, she said she was at the gas station. This man was like, "Hey, let me pump your gas," and she was like, "No, I'm okay." And he goes, "I got $5 on it."
No.
Sir, where is that gonna get me?
I got $5 on it.
Did y'all notice that nobody asked me about
We
that?
haven't gotten to you
About
yet.
what?
It was not your turn
But
yet.
I already know what you're gonna say. No.
You're not gonna say on mine, Mom.
You do not know what I'm going to say.
Over or under, I'm gonna say mom's going to say maybe online because y'all know mom is the love doctor. So she likes to hook people up. Nothing's organic.
But
She
what
hates-
is her
she
approval?
hates those apps.
What
She
is her
hates those
approval
apps.
percentage?
She told you to get off the apps.
Why are you putting my business out there? The people didn't even know I was on that.
Like back in the day. Back in the day.
Gosh.
Back in
Okay,
the day.
mom, what do you think?
First of all, you do still meet people in the supermarket. I get approached all the time in the grocery store.
I mean, but your demographic
time.
is different. They're like,
No, young, old, I get approached.
To say what? Ma'am, do you have a recipe for these cabbage? What are you getting approached about?
They looking at that Nicki Minaj.
And then, secondly, I do think organically is the best way, and it's in so many different ways. But if you consistently go to the same place, like if you hang out at a restaurant all the time, somebody may go there and they hang out there all the time. If you someone that's a person of faith and you're in a synagogue or a church or somewhere like that on a consistent basis, then they be like eyeing you but don't say anything. So it really is, to me, the best way to meet someone. That's how I met my husband. Was very organic.
Mom,
That
they didn't
was
have the
40
internet
years
back
ago.
then. Y'all didn't even have Al Gore's internet.
You know what? Just because you have internet now, just tell me something. Now, we have, Misha, you can take a poll on this. Out of the people or the individuals that would take the survey, if y'all want to do it, and they have dated online, has it been successful or has it been a thumbs down?
I know a lot of people have gotten married from online.
Well, I mean,
And they're still married. And I know people who've met organically did not make it.
So, well, I read a statistic today it was a study done by the Today Show in November 2021 that said 12% of marriages that started from online relationships end in 2 to 3 years versus 2% of meeting somebody through someone else you know. And it goes back to the accountability factor, because if you know somebody, they can tell you this person is legit. But if you're meeting this random, very random person online who can make themselves whoever they want to be, it's most likely 90% fake.
Yeah. I looked up this, it was on like findinghappily.com. but they did online dating versus organic. So online, you've got people are more likely to lie about their age, height, weight, income, and marital status versus organically, it's easier to read a person's body language when you meet in person. You can gauge whether the person is being honest or dishonest. And then online, people are more likely to be rejected or to reject others online than in person. And then organically, you can tell whether there's chemistry or like if you need to like call it.
So I have a question. When they're meeting online, is it going back and forth face, with a face-to-face recognition? Like, I don't know what that looks like. Is it like
I think it's
like
messaging.
FaceTime, or
I
is
think
it
it's
just
messaging. And then I saw today on
Girl,
Tinder,
please.
on the Tinder swindler, they use WhatsApp. I don't know if WhatsApp does video calling, but I think it does. Okay, so they would do messages. And then my friends who've actually done online dating, they start off messaging in the app. And then once they feel comfortable, they message each other maybe through text messages and then take it a step further to like FaceTime or stuff like that.
Well, let me tell y'all something. If you don't, the vetting of a person is very important. One of the questions I always ask to the women that I coach is, who are their mentors? Like, who is in their family? If it could be their cousin, it could be who's their closest friend. Like, you need to know that person. They need to have one. They can't say they don't have friends. If they don't have friends, run. RUN. If they tell you they don't have someone in their life, that they're unpacking their life, run. Or you give me a name, a date, a time. You can't do that. And then not seeing somebody and someone is just typing some words. There are people out there, male and female, that can eloquently type. Like they can type, like they can write, right? And they know the exact right words to say, when to say it, how to say it. So if you're going off of that on online, y'all can have that.
So how do you think people should, quote unquote, vet said
Online?
potential, organically and online? Like how do you vet somebody without scaring them off?
I think if it's online, again, I've never dated online, but I think if it is online and y'all do go from like the swiping left or whatever it is that they do, and then you start to exchange numbers, like she's saying, like Mom is saying, ask them like who their friends are. Well, first of all, I would go look at their social media.
What if they don't have social media?
And I was about to say that. And sometimes they'll lie and say they don't, because I know someone who did this whole dating thing, I think like on Hinge or something. And for 6 months, he told her he didn't have Facebook or Instagram.
Wow.
She did her research, found out he did. And then she found out that this man had children and this, that, and the third. So I feel like those are the first questions that you should ask. Like, what's your social media? Because like, just to answer your question, I feel like if you go to their Instagram, you're not going to know everything about them, but you can start looking like, okay, he's with this guy all the time. Let me click on his page. Okay, they play basketball on Saturdays. They golf on Friday. Like, you can kind of find out, the type of person he is and stuff like that if they have a social media.
What if it's just all selfies?
Oh, I definitely.
Well, yeah, men that have a lot of selfies,
Right.
I think that's weird.
That's very
It's
weird.
super selfish.
Run.
Well, I feel like they're into themselves. They wouldn't even have
Right.
time to be into somebody else.
Yeah, like if we're taking the same amount of time to get ready and it takes me a minute, no.
Well,
I don't think he should be like dad and get ready in 10 minutes, but you're supposed to be like,
It
shots,
takes me-
shots.
it takes me like 2 seconds to get ready. And look how good I look. Don't say anything.
I'm not
I didn't have to say that.
I'm not against meeting people on different platforms and different things like that. I'm just saying you're going to have to talk to someone, and this nonverbal communication does not work. You cannot tell who this person is through conversation. It's bad enough that someone can really woo you even with conversations because they're so great with communication. So just think about that. But when you're talking about a text, and most men, if they're online, they probably got, I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to judge that. They may, and women may too, but I know guys can have multiple profiles out there with multiple different names. And when you just stated that they can say, they can put a picture up there. I remember a girlfriend of mine that was dating someone online, and he had a picture when he got to Dallas.
He catfished?
He didn't. He was not the person on those.
Probably just a picture from a decade ago. And
He was
people do
not the
that.
person.
Wait, he was a wholly different
He
person?
was a totally different person. He
my
was here for like a week because he came totally different. He said he was tall. He was really short.
Wait, the thing is, why didn't she make him go, like, they didn't stay together, did they?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, he could have I just would have ghosted him.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how else? Well,
And then
besides,
that's another thing. The person. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Y'all got me started now.
no, I was gonna say, besides asking them if they have friends and what their Instagram is, what's another way you can see?
You can always do a background check.
Oh yeah. You can
How
pay
much does that cost?
like 20.
It doesn't matter.
How do you know, Kamisha?
I mean, I'm just saying.
It
She
doesn't
gave the
matter.
exact price.
It doesn't.
Yeah. I mean,
It doesn't matter if they give you enough information, name, rank, and serial number. They're not gonna give you social, but if you can get that name and you can get that city that they live in, you can do a background check.
Oh yeah,
And
like if you ask like where they're
let me
originally-
just say this: everybody got someone in their family that probably is a part of some type of law enforcement. That can
You
tell
can't say
you,
that, Mom. That's illegal.
That
No,
is
I'm just
illegal.
no.
we
I'm
do not
sa-
condone
No, I'm not
illegal
saying
search.
illegal activity.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they can tell you how. If you don't know how to do it,
Okay.
they can tell you. I'm not telling you to
clean
go
it up,
ask your
clean it up.
Yeah, clean it up.
your brother them to do that for you. I'm not saying
I
that.
unofficially work for the FBI.
Yeah.
I can find
I think
any needle in a
I
haystack.
think we said that on the episode before. Janae can find somebody off
Baby.
the color of their fingernail.
their
She'd be like,
deed
"What
on
color
their
was it?"
house.
Yeah, so it could be all of that. Okay, so
I wanted to say something because Mom cut me off a minutes ago before I forget. About the whole Instagram, like Facebook thing or whatever. What another thing I really don't like, because I mean, a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot, but anyway, guys do slide in my DM or whatever, so I can look at their Instagram and be like, oh no, not my type. But I've come across situations where they have this big, huge personality on social media, and then we met up, and they're like,
Oh, maybe they're
like-
socially awkward.
yeah. So that's another thing about meeting people online, whether it's a dating app or whatever, TikTok, whatever. And then you meet them and it's like, oh, you were like big and loud and all these Facebook statuses and, this big personality. Then you get with that person and they're super dry, have nothing to say. You're carrying the conversation. This can be, flipped, male or female.
Right.
Like I know guys that are like, yeah, she was really shy on Instagram, only posted like 13 pictures. She didn't seem like, and then I met her and it's like, I'm a diva. I'm this, I'm that, I need this. And it's like, but you're not like that. So
Gotcha.
it's, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
I feel like
But yeah.
I've met people like that before.
Yeah, where they're like have a
But
big
what if that's?
personality.
I mean, they could be in. What's the word? Not
They told me it's
embarrassed.
their Facebook persona is what a guy told me. He goes, that's just my Facebook persona.
Well,
I'm like, that's
want you-
lame. You're
I would
40
want you
years
to tell
old.
me. I would want you to tell me ahead of time
Yeah,
that,
you're not
that you
Will
have
Smith.
a persona. If
Yeah.
you're really shy, you
Let
need
me
to
know
tell me
that.
that you're shy.
Yeah, like, I mean, unless you're trying to be an actor, unless you're trying to be Dusty Banks or something, I'm just not understanding why you have this character on social media.
But my question is, before you actually go out on a date with a person, don't just look at their social media. You should be having conversation
Oh, yeah, for
with
sure.
them. So if they don't have this big bubbly personality that you
Well,
have,
they could have it through text too.
I'm not talking about through text. I'm talking about have a Let me look.
on the phone.
Let me look in this camera.
Oh, she's saying look in the camera, talk on the phone. Okay.
She's
broken the fifth wall.
Yeah.
Okay, I know these are the signs of the times. This is the day that we're in. But there is something about in person. I need to see your eyes when you are talking to me.
So
that's
FaceTime.
FaceTime, that is Zoom, whatever that is. I need to see your eyes. You're not going to just text me all day long. I promise you, I know people, I know they're doing voice text, but they can literally, by the time you catch up with the one text, they're texting like once again. So I'm a little slow in that. So I'm trying to catch up. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, where do I jump in? I need to see you. I need to hear your voice.
So does that go into your dating tips? So if you've got a couple of tips, even though you don't really date anymore,
Right.
give me 2 tips.
Tip number 1, meet the person.
Okay.
Tip number 2, vet them.
Okay, Janae, 2 tips on dating.
2 tips on dating. Interesting. I would say, like you said, meet the person.
Yeah.
Don't talk too long. Like if I don't want to message you for 4 weeks and then we go on a date. You completely wasted my time. Another tip, I don't date, so
Okay, well,
I don't know.
Kamisha, what tips do you have in place for yourself?
For myself, I could piggyback off of what she was saying. Basically, I don't like the whole pen pal thing.
Right.
There's a guy, let me not even go into detail, but there's somebody who's been texting me for the last couple weeks, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's next? Either you're about to ask me out, something, but like, we're not pen pals. I'm not dating a guy in prison. So what's going on? And I think he's only like literally called me once. He's like 38. So why are we just texting? So I'm like, I get this from my mom. I don't really like texting that much. I'd rather call and make a Facebook appointment. Another tip would be, I don't know. I just, at this stage and age in my life, I do want to kind of just go quick. So either we're talking on the phone, I'm like, I think you can kind of tell whether or not you want to go on the first date. And I was just telling mom this at lunch yesterday, that sometimes I don't even make it to the first date because I found out they smoke, or I found out all my non-negotiables on that phone call. I'm like, oh, next. Gotcha. So I don't even waste my time getting outfit, my gas to even go on that date because we've already X'd it out on that first phone call.
She vetted.
I do have another tip.
I bet via phone.
Okay, Janae?
Don't be desperate.
Oh, yeah.
That's what got these women on the Tinder swindler in trouble.
But no spoilers because I haven't seen it.
I'm not going to tell. But what happens is when people speak, we talk too much. We talk too much. And so we tell people too much when we're talking. And then what they do is they morph into that person. And then we're like, oh, my God, this is the one. Instead of just like saying, let's chill. You got to be friends first.
Or like you were saying at one point, basically advising me not to talk too much because if you say like, oh, I want him to be godly and I want him to be this, and
or you tell him about your past.
Yeah, like, or if he asks like, so why'd you and your ex break up with the last guy you were in love with? And then you tell him and it's like, he's that person, but he's going to be a chameleon and morph into like the things that, you know, like you told him too much about yourself and you look up 6 months to a year later and you're like, that was really you though.
Right.
But you told him so much in the beginning. You know, he knew what not to do, what not to say. Then y'all got comfortable and it's like, well, this is really who I am. Right. We've talked about that in the podcast before.
And the same thing for men. I mean, there are some men out there that women can become chameleons as well and be exactly what he said he's looking for.
Right. Yeah.
And that whole wifey type. And she really don't want to do any of those things. She just wants to be in a relationship or she wants to be married. And then when you go home, it's something totally different.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, I want kids, knowing you can't stand kids. Oh, I love to cook, knowing you can't cook. All those things. And then, you know,
So I would say my dating tips would be red flags. So y'all do know that I do sometimes drink a little bit. So on a first date, people do drink to feel comfortable, to kind of get the nerves out.
Right.
But if a guy is trying to get you to drink a lot, that's also a red flag.
Right.
So red flag and dating tip. Don't drink. Keep a 2-drink minimum. One if you don't drink normally.
Right.
That is it. And then also don't like leave your drink by itself.
Unattended.
Right.
Yeah, I watched a movie and they were throwing Mickeys, Rickeys, Molly's, whatever. And then also I would say, make sure it's also if you don't know them and you're online dating, don't have a date at your house.
Oh gosh,
on the first
no.
day. Or on the first 3 dates, I don't think anybody should be going to somebody's house.
Hold on.
Me and mom probably have the same question.
Yeah.
Go, mom. I want to see if it matches.
Why is anybody even knowing where your house is in 1 or 2 3 days? No, ma'am.
Desperate women. Desperate
Let me
women.
tell you how private I am. I got some people in my life don't even know where I live now.
And you're weird about that.
No, because you don't know these individuals. You keep that meeting. No, I'm not talking about friends. My close friends do, but not everybody. I don't. They know. They may know the vicinity, but I'm not going to tell you my address. Hey, come over.
Right.
While you meeting someone brand new. And you're saying, come into my space, like come to my house.
Weird.
For what? You still vetting this person.
Right.
You need to be dating in open settings. You need to be dating in a format also that you get to meet somebody who know them and and they should feel the same way. Mm-hmm. So someone can sit around the table with you and vet that person. Okay, but all I'm saying is you just take the person around someone and vet that person, but don't bring them into your space. That's way too
I know
early.
someone from online dating that went on, I think I told you this, that went on like one date, realized, and it's actually back to what Charity was saying about too many drinks, and that person got too drunk on the date. And so she let that person drive her home, right? So from the first date, and they met like on, I don't know, Black People Meet or something, right? Mm-hmm. So they met on a date, and then once she, got home or whatever, she just didn't want to text me anymore. She remembered when she was sober, we really didn't mesh, whatever. Do you remember I told you this story, how I saw it when I walked in her house? She kept it for like to remind herself, he threw a boulder, like a big old rock, through her window. It was nothing but the grace of God that where she was standing in her kitchen, it went to her. Like,
why did he do that though?
He was mad because it had only been like 2 days. She wasn't texting him back. So when she blocked him, and even a gated community, he was able to get into her building. He threw her. He was gonna try to kill her.
Wow.
I mean, and she kept it because I was like, why is this rock in here? And that's when I found out that story. And she was like, ever since then, I do not let guys pick me up. Nothing unless we've been dating for a while.
Yeah.
He was literally going to kill her. She was likely in her kitchen and he threw it.
That's crazy.
Janae, what were you gonna say though?
I think what is the appropriate time? Is it that you feel a peace about it? Like, we've been on 4 or 5 dates. Okay, he seems cool. So I would feel like this is organically versus online. Organically, I probably would feel comfortable based on if I knew somebody he knew after maybe quicker.
Right.
But online?
Yeah.
Online.
I'm just in awe.
Mom,
What's your question, Mom?
3 or 4 times and he can come to your house.
well, if you know him through someone else and you've been on 4 dates and y'all talked and you know him through somebody else.
Yeah, like somebody else knows him. Like if something were to happen, you could go to said person that y'all know mutual and be like,
Right.
this is what happened.
So what y'all doing? Is it still Netflix and chill?
I don't know what they
He
doing.
could just pick you up for a day. He could just pick you up.
You talking about come to the house to pick you up. I'm talking about just sitting
But
sitting
sometimes
around.
he can come over
And
you
cook
may
for you or
make
watch a
y'all
movie
eat dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, things again. This is before your time.
Nobody
before
is
your
coming
time.
in my house.
But okay,
in.
just so you can just like, cause I know you're visual. If it's Charity's best friend Jordan, and Jordan says, "Hey, I know this guy. We went to school together. This is my frat brother. Whatever. Like, I know him. I would never let you go on a date with him. They've gone on like 4 dates. Jordan is her bestest friend.
Right.
What's she ready to do now? Cook for him?
If it's like it could be anything.
It's a date.
It could be anything.
It's a date.
Mom,
Yeah.
I don't agree, but you guys go on with y'all.
it could be a game
y'all go-
night.
Yeah.
But
Okay. So if it's a game night or something like that, you know what? We can meet right downstairs. Meet you right now. We right here in your little thing. We can meet downstairs and have
Nobody's
fun.
doing that.
Ain't nobody
Y'all
doing
could.
that. That's
Nobody's
not
doing that.
realistic. Ask your girls in the girls club, Mom. They'll tell you if you don't believe us.
No, I'm just saying. What I think about the generations, and I understand y'all think we're the dinosaurs generation, but there is a reason for past, because if we don't learn from the mistakes of our past, we're destined to repeat them. There is nothing new under the sun. It is the same merry-go-round. It just has a different horse to it. Yes. And a lot of this new school dating, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. How's it working?
It's working for some people.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't let nobody come over for a second date. Nope.
I think I'm okay. But so if that's how you feel, if you feel like new school dating, do you think that contributes to people jumping from relationship to relationship? Or why do people relationship hop?
Is it relationship or are they just dating? Because if they're dating, you're allowed to date.
It could be both, because I know people who've
Are serial daters.
gotten in relationships just back to back, and I'm like, how do you?
Because they don't want to be by themselves.
Exactly.
How do you find these people?
The silence is deafening for them. They can't stand the silence. And so they just would rather fill their time with someone. They just cannot be by themselves.
I know people that literally like they schedule their dates no matter, like they work at 8 to 5 and then they work out from like 5 to 7. They literally take I'm not joking. They take a shower at the gym. It's like, okay, I have a date on Monday with Jim. I have a date on Tuesday with Phil. And it's not the whole thing of like she doesn't have money for her own groceries or food.
Right.
It's like she literally doesn't like to be by herself. And I'm just like, oh my, I don't even like that much energy being transferred to me. I don't like being around that many. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that many people ask me the same question. What's your favorite color? You know, like I don't even like that much transference of energy.
I probably would forget. I'd be forgetting what I told people.
Exactly.
But so I think people relationship hop because kind of what Janae said, they just don't want to be alone. And it is kind of hard to find somebody you're compatible with. I was talking to the family group chat, not the one you're in, Mom. The other family group chat. We were talking about, I think that people are with people for transactional reasons and not for love. And I really think that once you find somebody you can kind of live with, you kind of want to just make it work. But people are hopping around because they haven't found somebody that they can even attempt to make it work with.
Right.
So they're
I
just
agree.
like, oh, okay,
I
next.
agree.
Right.
Yep.
And then some people hopping around just because they are insecure within themselves. To me,
Yeah.
and it is if you're in a relationship and it's longer than 2 months, 3 months, you need to give yourself equal enough time to get past that relationship.
Oh, wait.
Come on now.
So if you're casually dating somebody, you have to wait 3 months to start dating somebody else.
Okay, I'm talking about a serious. You guys are really working
Okay,
something.
Mom,
You're
the talking
just-
stage now for these men lasts 6 months. We have to talk for 6 months before I can even say
We're exclusive.
we're exclusive.
Yeah.
Trifling.
But who came up with that rule and
I
why
hate
y'all
talking.
following it?
I don't.
I don't follow that.
The only,
I move around.
here's the thing. The only reason that anybody, male or female, can do what they do is because you allow it.
Right.
Just because this person says, I got to give this 6 months before I say we are exclusive, doesn't mean that has to become your narrative.
And honestly,
Because
sis, date them all. If you're doing that, date them all. That's been my phrase for the last 2 or 3 years. Date them all until he locks you down, which is what I think you were trying to say about don't allow it. Date them all. Because why put all your eggs in one basket for that 6 months and he's still using the phrase, oh, we're just talking.
I know, but in the same time, Mom was talking about you have to wait a certain time to start dating somebody else. If
it's serious, I think is what she's saying.
Yeah, but what does serious really mean? Like, what is that?
Okay, so I don't think she's ever going to hear this, but personally, I don't know what happened with
No names.
with
No names.
a celebrity, but I think there's a grieving process. Her husband passed away, and literally 2 months later, she's already all over the internet with a new man. I think that's a little disrespectful to that person's children.
Okay.
If your husband died of 30 years and you're already in a new relationship,
You don't know what conversation
I
they
know, you're
had
right, before
prior
he
to.
passed.
What if he was like, "Hey, I want you to be happy. I want you to go find somebody else that you can love." That's their relationship.
Okay, but are you really over that
In
relationship?
2 months?
I feel like then
his body's so cold.
Jesus.
Like, I just think that's so disrespectful.
What I would say is, especially in long-term relationships, you need to heal.
Yes.
You need to heal before you
yourself.
can move on to something else serious. If I'm in a serious relationship and then in 2 months I'm now in another serious relationship, that's
Red flag.
it is, because I'm not even dealing with what it is that I'm going through. And here's the thing: there are things that are hidden that you really don't realize that are bothering you. You just might get triggered someplace and be like, ooh.
Yeah, I think people should go to therapy after like a long relationship.
Yeah,
And
right.
if it ended traumatically, I think that's necessary. But what if it was something that just did not work?
This is what
I still feel like you need to heal from it.
I know, but if Mom was trying to put a time limit on people, so if you're married 20 years, 10 years, you're not about to wait another 10 years to start dating.
Oh, yeah, no.
No. I'm not saying that. My mother has a couple of old sayings, and she's in her 80s. She said there are no more deceased 10 years from now than they are the day that they died. That's one. And then her second one is and then her second one was, you just don't really know people like that quick of a time. So you still do have to give yourself some space.
Granny doing double talking.
Yeah,
Well,
that
no,
was
no,
a little
no.
contradicting.
No, she said the person is no more dead tomorrow than they were today.
Right.
So for some people,
right.
This was the second one. The second one, she said, they really could be said, I'm glad you're gone, you rascal, you.
Another one is I learned from Sex and the City many years ago from the great Carrie Bradshaw. There's no better way to get over a new man but to get up under a new one.
But let's go.
I think that's a little toxic. I think that's in your 20s. Sorry, Mom. I think it's a little toxic. I think it's in your 20s.
I'm gonna drink some water on that one, Misha.
But no, I don't agree with that. But I think like in your 20s.
I think she
or whatever.
does.
But I do want to say that like as far as if you were in a relationship, I don't know, let's say like 2 years, like Charity was saying, if it's amicable or whatever, and y'all just like grew apart. But I do still think you need some time, even if it's amicable, to kind of, because like Janae was saying, you never knew like, oh man, I like the way he used to do this, or you didn't even like realize some of the stuff that person was doing,
That
even
bothers
if
you.
that bothers you. So you do just need that me time. I just feel it's weird that when someone gets in a breakup or someone passes or whatever the case may be, moves away, and then like 2 months later you're dating somebody else or whatever. I think it's a void that you're trying to fill.
But I've heard stories, and guess where I've heard them at, y'all?
TikTok.
That these women are like, it's a sound that goes on. It basically says you lost the love of your life. However, y'all broke up, but then that ushered in a new love. Like so many women are like, it's been a month, or I met this guy 2 months after the worst breakup of my life, and he is the one. Like they've been together for years, or now they're engaged. So I feel like, as long as you're taking the journey, in my opinion, to heal, you never know when that person is going to come.
Is true.
But if you're just jumping, like, oh, I'm not with him anymore, I'm crying today, and then literally next week you are out with somebody, then you haven't processed any of that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I think those are people that just can't be alone. You know what I mean? That that's a whole nother topic. It's codependency. But
Yeah. Well, okay. Since Valentine's Day is coming up, let's talk a little bit about that. How do y'all feel about Valentine's Day? Let's give it to them. Mom,
Is it a deal or a dub?
Mom, you've been like married for like 60 years now. So how does it feel?
shots fired. No, I'm joking. That's actually a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's not 60 years. Y'all been married like my whole life, obviously.
Let's not. She don't want you to say it.
Actually
36 years.
It would be 36 years on the
She just remembered that.
15th of February.
of February.
Jesus.
So
That's the easiest date to get married, fellas.
So-
The day after Valentine's Day.
Right.
You'll never forget it.
So the Valentine's Day is not a deal for me because we have a wedding anniversary the next day.
Yeah.
So we never really celebrate Valentine's Day. But
Valentine's
for
Day.
people who are not married, that's a big deal. And it should be a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just like if we have any stated holidays and we say we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, we're going to celebrate Christmas. Don't let anyone come into your space, particularly women. It is mutual. It should be.
Where we going?
But particularly women, don't let someone come in your space and say, I don't believe in that day. If they don't believe in that day, they're
And
not
you
going to believe in your
it?
anniversary.
Yeah.
If they don't believe in that day, they're not going to believe in your
That's
birthday.
not
No, okay, no.
I don't believe it.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay, here's my thing. It just depends. Do I feel like when you're married, I'm going to do it from a married point of view. I feel like I would want to be shown love throughout the year.
Right.
If you're focusing on one day, then but if that's what you like Mom was alluding to, if y'all both it's something that you like, cool. But I would prefer flowers throughout the year.
Yeah.
Not just on Valentine's Day. So I feel like is it overhyped? Probably so.
It is. And I will tell you how.
It is overhyped.
Because
She got
according to the National
statistics.
Retail Federation, Americans spent more than $21 billion on Valentine's Day in 2021. And that is 20% less than 2020, probably because of the pandemic. So I think it's a little bit blown out of proportion. Like,
Right.
I think Valentine's Day is cool. Like, we
Right.
can celebrate,
Right.
but I don't think it's anything to fight
think
about
it's
if
for-
something doesn't happen.
I think it's like, well, I don't know. We're all saying I think because that's what this podcast is. It's just
Right.
our own opinions. But I do think that it's twofold. I think if it's something that's important to you, it's important to you. It's a big deal.
Right.
They could consider it like their birthday. And then on the flip side, a lot of it is for social media. I think it's like to show their girlfriends or their family, like, I got him in. He does this for me, or for themselves to finally show themselves that somebody loves me, and to walk into. I mean, I actually just posted a meme that says, I gotta hurry up and find a way to get some balloons and cards and flowers on Valentine's Day, which is like.
Have y'all noticed something though? A lot of times you'll see just a flower or you see the candle, but you've never seen the man.
As it should be that way. People don't need to know who you're dating for the social
These
media.
people be sending themselves flowers and candy.
Yeah, some
I'm
girls
not trying to be, and then
yeah.
you look down 3 months from now, you haven't seen them on a date. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true because I'm not posting nobody on my social media.
And that's fine. Well, then don't post the flowers, and then don't post the candy. If you don't want nobody in your business, take all of your business out.
I feel like until my last name changed, I'm not showing nobody. either.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I've said this
media
before
can
on
be
the
messy.
podcast. Nobody's gonna know until like the wedding invitation comes out. They'll be like, "Well, that's
Like
great."
Issa Rae.
Yeah, Issa
Yeah.
Rae literally had a photo shoot in France.
Yep.
And
And we couldn't tell if it was really like, is this
You can
for
tell if it's real or
Yeah.
not.
And you know what? I bet you her, I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I bet you her relationship is very peaceful.
And I
Just
love
keep
that.
people out of your business. I feel like I wouldn't post anybody on Instagram.
Exactly.
Like, if I were dating, I wouldn't post anybody on
Because
social media.
we've said this before, like you post and you overpost, and then when you stop posting that person, you delete all the pictures or archive it. Everybody like, ooh, girl, what happened? Then you want to turn your comments off.
It's private.
It's private. Give me and give us our space as we
Heal.
heal. Girl, no, we want to know what happened because he was just wanting your bathwater, but now he gone. Shots fired.
But these two right here, y'all have always gotten the candy of your choice for Valentine.
wait,
Oh,
first of
God.
all,
From you and Dad.
I understand, but if we don't get this if we don't get that box of turtles, I've been trying to, upgrade y'all for years. No, I just want some turtles. I want some
We
turtles.
just like
It was
turtles.
like-
Y'all got us liking it at like 5.
Yeah, what?
I understand, but it's like y'all didn't give me no turtles. Like y'all was saying, it's not a big deal.
Well,
but
it's a family
sometimes it
tradition.
is.
It's a family
It's a
tradition.
family
Our mom and dad always
tradition.
give us a card and turtles.
Everybody's not into it like me.
That's a big deal to me.
It doesn't make a big deal. My husband takes and shows me that he loves me every single
Right.
day. Period.
okay, well, for the people that don't have significant others, how do y'all feel about Galentine's Day?
Me and my
What
girls
is
are
it?
doing one. I started
When you and your girls
It's a switch.
get together.
The G from the V, the Galentine's Day. So it's when you're with your girls. And
So-
so like if single girls get together, they're gals.
Yeah,
And they get together and they
because
celebrate.
they made it because they don't want people who are single to feel left out on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day because it's supposed to be about love, not necessarily a romantic love.
Right,
It can just be
right.
like
Yeah.
somebody that loves
Like
you.
a friendly
So
love,
yeah,
like,
people
yeah.
have Galentine's Day and they hang out with their friends. They go to dinner. They dress up. They're cheersing for the gram.
Okay.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
As
Is
always.
Valentine's Day for guys too?
I think guys can do it. I think
can do
so,
it?
but I don't know if
But
they
it
call it
wouldn't be
Galentine's.
Galentine's.
But
I don't know what they call it though.
So do you? Oh, this is a good time to have a guy in here to have a.
Well, thankfully,
conversation.
we do have a male.
Well, let's
in
just
camera
bring
today.
him on the camera. Male guy
DJ
in
Trey
the
Nice, can you
studio.
please come
DJ
over?
Trey Nice, would you come in? He wants to make.
Okay, yeah.
What's
Okay.
the question?
Okay, I'm off camera. But
So,
yes.
so the question is, do you guys, if you don't have someone special in your life, do you do that? Do you guys kind of get together because you want to celebrate your friendship?
we call it something different. We just call it a male's brunch or something.
Oh,
we're not
okay.
going to call it, you know what I'm saying, Galentine's and like
Yeah.
that. But I do know people who are taken and having a Galentine's party. But it's like 2 days before or something.
Okay.
It won't be on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
But guys definitely do have it. We just call it like male's brunch or brunch Sunday.
Bro day or something.
Something
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that. We all sit together. We may watch if football's still on, you know what I'm saying, football or something. Just because I feel like it's just a day for love. Just in general, it's just a love recognition day. So
Okay.
like, I feel like that's why. Yeah, no, you're good. But just to your point where you were talking about like, I don't feel like it's boosted. I just feel like that's just the day for love
Yeah.
in general. You know what I'm saying? So, but guys definitely have it, but it's not the same as like a Galentine.
Where we exchange gifts sometimes.
Exactly.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So
And-
one more question, since you're on the mic. What do you feel about Valentine's Day? If you're in a relationship with someone, do you think
I'm in a
it's-
relationship with someone.
Okay, and yes, she's cute too. So do you feel that it's hyped?
No, I feel like it's important.
Okay.
I feel like yeah, you can like my mom said, you can show love throughout the year as you're supposed to. But I feel like that day is important just because like it's just a day for love in general. Like some people may not have significant others, so they'll buy their mom, flowers. It's just like a love day. So I feel like that day is just important in general. But especially if you have somebody, that day should be like for that person, like
Right.
for sure. I do feel like it's important.
And it doesn't mean that you have to go get them an expensive gift, like a Prada bag or something. It could literally be like, I know that she likes bubble baths. Or if y'all have kids, hey, you know what? Today, go get a mani-pedi and I'll
But
babysit the kids.
back
Why is it one-sided?
Right.
I mean, I was just saying, I mean, it could be flipped.
Sometimes men don't even want anything because they think it's kind of like weird. Yeah. But I would do things if they wanted something, I'd be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
But,
but last time I sent somebody for something for Valentine's Day, he walked out of my life.
She ain't gonna get over that. She's not gonna get over that.
My gosh.
I would love to hear that story.
They say don't buy nobody some shoes because they'll walk right out.
Granny didn't teach me that one.
I got him some slides. He just slid right out the door.
Slid right on out.
But you know what? Something that one of my besties, Jimmy, taught me many, many years ago. He calls it Valentine's Day. He calls it Single Awareness Day. But one of my because we've done this probably the last 5 or 6 years, maybe 6 years. One of my best Valentine's Day actually was me and Jimmy. And he picked me up after work and we spent the whole day after that. And we just bar hopped. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And
I should go bar hopping with y'all.
He bought, no, you can't hang. He bought me a little gift and I didn't know we were doing gifts. But yeah, that was probably one of the best Valentine's Day I've ever had. That was like 2018.
I
love that.
I love that for
okay,
you.
so because we know June Speaks loves to talk, let's give her a couple of minutes. Let's give a minute with June Speaks.
A minute.
Talk about a little bit of intentional dating or, just anything to kind of recap this episode.
So intentional dating to me means it is deliberate. It is on purpose. And I think the question that you should ask yourself before you even start dating is, what is your intention? What do you want out of a relationship? If you're going to go out in the open dating fields, ask yourself the real question. Do I want to be married or do I want to be single? Because too many men and women, but I see more so on women who says, oh, I don't have to be married, but they really want to be married. Right. So intentionally ask yourself the hard question. I don't care what your age is. If you 80, my mother says she would get married again. I believe her. I believe my father would have married again. Right. I believe that. So if you want to be married, stop pretending. That's number one. And then number two is that make sure you vet them. I can't say that enough. We talked about that. You got to vet this person with a person, and you can vet that through questions. Let's turn the tables around and think of a job interview. Charity, recently you have you took on a new position and different things. There is things that company asks you before you can even get to the table with them, right? Right. And then there's things once you get to the table, they're gonna ask you again, and then somebody else may ask you another set of questions. Right. We don't think anything's wrong with that. What is wrong with asking people, what are your core values? Exactly. What do you? Because
they're scared to ask.
What? And people said, oh, don't ask that on the first date. They may run away. No, you need to understand. If I'm not a smoker and one of your core values is I'm gonna smoke a pack a day, then we gonna have a problem. I already know this is not gonna work. Why would I spend any more time? You got to vet the person in a way. And I don't understand why we don't think that we take it in a different direction because it's dating, but we don't take it a different direction if someone is asking us personal questions on a job. Y'all know how many times on an inquiry, they'll ask you the same question a different way?
Yeah, it's true.
Just to kind of see who your character is. How do you really think? Well, how are you processing things? Are you going to be a fit for this team? And then they take and then just say, oh, I'm just a hiring manager. Say, no, you got to go to the next person.
Right.
I had a friend, a really good girlfriend of mine, when she took a job years ago, 13 interviews. 13
that is
for
ridiculous.
13 no what they had was a culture, and I need to know you fit this culture on every level, because if you're going to be promoted up in here, we're going to see if you really fit. There is nothing wrong with that. And then the last thing, be very open and honest with the person that you are dating and ask the right questions. Just ask the right questions. Don't depend on social media. You ask the person, and when you find the lie, immediately cut it.
Okay.
And June just spoke.
I spoke that day.
There she goes.
June loves to speak.
I was gonna say, just because Mom really sounded a lot like Steve Harvey there, and I'm not joking, but I know a lot of people, and they might be like, oh, he's a comedian, but I can honestly say I've read that book backwards and forwards, and it's a really good book. think like a
Is it Think Like a Man?
think like a man, act like a lady. But he does talk a lot about the 90-day trial and things of that nature. You might not have to take every little thing, but there are some very, very, very good points in dating and just giving like really good tips.
And one last thing, and I promise you I'm gonna be done. Y'all, stop sleeping with people on the first date, the second date, the 5 dates. Can y'all stop putting sex in the middle of a relationship and you don't even know this person? Because if you look in biblical times, it wasn't a marriage ceremony. It was sex. That when they had to consummate a marriage, it was through sex. That's how the two become one. And you wonder why you can't get rid of this person or why you keep letting them do you this way. You're jumping in and out of beds and in and out of scenarios with people you don't know.
There you go.
Put that thing on a hold and get to know that person.
On your side of the bed, your side. Okay, well, before we get out of here, I guess we should kind of tell y'all what took us so long to come back. But I had COVID for the third time. That was one thing.
Then
Janae,
I got COVID along with my daughter and my son.
Kamisha,
I've been blessed. I've been in the streets and I have not caught it. I have not even coughed.
and then Mom.
My husband came home with this crazy cause kissing on his wife, and he had COVID. And guess what?
They all got it back to back. Christmas
But yeah,
Eve,
none of these
New
were
Year's.
at the same time.
We
Yeah.
were not in the same
it was
room.
It was literally like, okay, we can film next week. Then Janae gets it. Oh, we can
Right.
film next week. Then Mom and Dad gets it. But
Right.
I'm not, knock on wood, but I swear I've been Gucci.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
if y'all want to know if a new variant comes out, I will let y'all know because I get all of them,
Right.
So I can definitely.
But I do want to
fill you
say,
in.
just the end the Valentine's Day episode or whatever, you asked like what our vibe or what our mood was with it. I have two moods: hours and hours
Oh, God.
and hours. That's one mood.
What song is that?
I'm sick of that song.
But did
even
you
know
see
if
how
it's-
she
no,
did it?
I know what it is. That's not the song.
Hours
It's
and
I can
hours.
do this for hours.
And
Sit
hours,
and talk to you for hours. Okay, there it is.
That's one mood.
Yep.
The second mood is I can't really say the name of it, but it's Andre 3000 Valentine's Day.
Oh,
You
she
know what I'm talking
sounds. That's a little bitter.
I got
okay,
I
y'all.
got two moods. Those are my
Whoa.
two moods.
We're out of here. I am the Charity E.
I love y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. I am June Sweet.
Okay. I'm Nisha.
Janae.
And we'll catch y'all next time. Hopefully.
Bye.
Hopefully.